Olympic Games. Bernard Lagat, then representing his native country of Kenya, took the silver medal, beaten by Hisham El Garouj of Morocco in the 1500. Then June 2nd in New York, Lagat favored but settled for second when he was outrun and passed in the final lap by his American rival Alan Webb. Webb and Lagat, those two renewing their rivalry here today with the U.S. Championship on the line.
Well, Alan Webb, the big question for him is what type of performance can we expect to see today, Tom? You know, he's had this roller coaster of a career. We have these brilliant moments like we saw at the Prefontaine Classic there, running down the straightaway away from Lagat, and then the next performance, something surprising in really a negative way. So once again, a chance for Webb to prove himself in a championship final. And Bernard Lagat, really considered one of the statesmen of the sport of track and field all over the world, absolutely respected. And you know, when I talk with him, it just bleeds through his skin that he's so proud to represent the United States at the World Track and Field Championships in Osaka, should he make the team after this race. He said that he spent some time up in Flagstaff, Arizona, training, getting that distance training, and came down, ran the Prefontaine Classic, but now here focused after already winning the 5K here.
On his way in the 5K and hoping to add the 1500, the naturalized citizen Bernard Lagat.
And what I would expect to see early on here, Tom, is exactly what we're seeing now. They hit the gas and then all of a sudden hit the brakes. Yeah, building to be a tactical race right from the beginning. And so what Lagat told me is that he has no plans to take the pace early, as we now see Alan Webb getting out there in the front. But Lagat will tuck in behind Webb as long as he can, and then later on we'll see them begin to make the move in terms of strategy, picking up the pace.
So the two rivals, Alan Webb and Bernard Lagat, running 1-2 at the moment.
You know, when I talked to Alan Webb and asked him about his strategy against Lagat today, he said it all would depend on whether or not Bernard Lagat would run the 5K, which he did. So Lagat finished the semifinals of the 1500, and then 2 hours later showed back up on the track to run the finals of the 5K, won that. And so now you have to think that maybe Webb thinks, well, maybe he's got a little bit out of his legs. The tanks aren't quite as full as they were before. But Bernard Lagat is so strong and so savvy and experienced of a runner, I don't think it'll make much of a difference.
Webb leads, Lagat is second, Saeed Ahmed is third, Andrew McClary is fourth.
58.6 seconds the first 400 meters, Tom. Decent pace, a little slow, but decent for a championship final.
Still running that way with Alan Webb in front, Bernard Lagat in second, Ahmed is third, McClary is in fourth.
And interesting to see the people in the stadium showing their respect, standing on their feet in the home straightaway, beating on the signs to egg on this championship final run.
Manzano of Texas is in the 5th place right now, as the leaders remain the same. Webb, Lagat, Ahmed, and now Manzano moving up into the 3rd spot.
And Lagat sensing that the pace is just a bit slow, and you know, the slower the pace is, the more athletes you allow to be in the race, to believe they can be in the race. So at some point, Lagat will have to use his strength at this point to begin to pull away, and if Webb is smart, he'll go with him.
Chris Lukezic has joined the leaders as well.
Lukezic said that he's in great condition, said any kind of pace would be okay with him, and we're about to see, because I believe Bernard Lagat is going to put the hammer back down and begin to string this race out as we come up to a lap to go.
In the final lap, it'll be Lagat in front, Webb in second. The two rivals running 1-2 with less than a lap to go.
And so now we're going to see what Alan Webb is all about. Here he is in a championship final, a chance to show himself in front of America with his rival, the new American Bernard Lagat, right in front of him.
Lukezic is in third behind those two. Lagat still leads Webb. Does Webb have one more surge in him? Lagat has the lead. Webb inching closer as they're in the turn for home. Lagat still in front. Webb trying to close. Here they come. Home straightaway, and they turn for home with Lagat in front. Webb on his outside in second. Those two on even terms now. Webb on the outside, Lagat on the inside. Running stride for stride. Manzano closing as well. And Webb surges to the front. Manzano takes second. Webb wins the 1500.
And the emotion from Webb shows that he has proven to himself that he can handle a championship moment like this and beat one of the greatest 1,500-meter runners in the history of the event, Bernard Lagat. Well, look at the finishing kick here. Bernard Lagat on the inside and Alan Webb coming up on the outside. And you see Webb now just biding his time. And I thought at this moment, Tom, that was all he had. But right there, he came up with some sort of move. And Bernard Lagat could not respond. I don't remember seeing Bernard Lagat not being able to respond in a moment like that. But it's all about Webb and that move. And watch here as all of a sudden he kicks it down, begins to pull away. Lagat with no response, watching his inside, making sure he doesn't get past there. Then it's the emotion of Alan Webb, national champion.
And Lagat fading to third as Leonel Manzano, last year's NCAA champion from Texas, got up to take the second spot. But Alan Webb has finally broken through with that performance that's been predicted for years. He's with Bob Newmeyer.
And the two rivals congratulating each other here trackside, Alan and Bernard. You see them together. Alan, first you. A standard, beating Lagat, winning the U.S. Nationals. How do you prioritize any of them?
I wasn't here a year ago with some injuries. To win this race means so much.